What up, doe, and welcome back to another episode, man. It's your boy MNG, and I am so excited for this week because all we have this week is part twos and follow-ups. And I can't even be more excited for this follow-up because we finally get to find out what happened to Kendra and Marcus. Now, I have been told they have commented on the channel, and I'm so excited for the shout out and the comment and everything. I got it. But look, I don't even want to talk. I gotta hear it. I want to know what happened. So let's go ahead and get into it. Without further ado, let's get into it.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna play a little bit more of the show. I'm guessing as we play, I know y'all two have some unfinished business that y'all could or choose not to talk about. The audience wants to know some things, but you know, it's all up to y'all on what y'all want to disclose, what y'all want to talk about. No pressure. Don't feel forced.
Oh, it is all the force. Now, I'm starting this in the middle because this is exactly where it starts to go down at. So, yeah, let's go. Let's go.
It's part of the game. So let's continue, and we'll move on just a little bit. See what we got.
Yeah. Also, you had your axe throwing date that we all got to watch. And one word, Kendra, that you mentioned was interesting when it came to your feelings about Marcus. So please help us understand what you meant.
So that Carolina Wop.
Do I say this or do I not say this?
You say it, girl.
We here.
That's what we're here for.
It's the place
say it,
to
girl.
say it. That was, Marcus and I have hung out prior to that. So it wasn't really our first date. Well, second date.
Mm-hmm.
So things has happened prior to that were not caught on camera.
Keep it cute.
So it allows me to make a decision. And once I make my decision, that's kind of like, that's it. Like I can't go back on it. So I had to film and go and do and finish. So, I mean, it's all good. Like there's no hate.
With filming. Sorry to
You're fine.
Yeah, interrupt. But like with filming, is you knew that, you know, how you felt after that, like, then why didn't you necessarily communicate and kind of like end it off at that point?
We communicated a lot. We were on FaceTime a lot. We talked about it. We had our moments. What do you have to say?
In the way that you're putting it.
I'm not trying to make you sound bad, so fix it.
So, no. And I'm going to say it like this. How you perceived it and how we both perceived it, right? I think you tried to hold on to something with that to make it seem like this is who Marcus is versus learning who I was as we went through this show. Because even though we both had our that one off camera date incident, whatever you want to call it, I still said, hey, I'm willing to work forward. I'm willing to say, hey,
move past
this because this is not me. And I know that it's not you. But every time we would do shootings and do something after the shootings as in hang out, you still would bring up the past. So to me, it didn't feel like you were trying to let that go.
My safety was compromised.
But you
it's
still
hard to.
But you still hung out with me, just us afterward.
But we were in public. We were never alone ever. So it's still, I still felt safe because I'm out in public.
Okay.
So let's talk about that, guys. Let's talk about it. I don't know how much.
So if you watched the last reaction video I did to their reunion, I basically said that there had to be something that was alcohol related. Maybe he lost control drinking or something like that. That was my, by her saying that her safety was, that her safety was broken, or I can't remember exactly what she said, but her compromise, her safety was compromised, and she didn't feel safe. But continued to do the show, but continued to hang out with him after the shooting. Cameras went out, still hung out, even though they was in public. So my speculation was is that from what she said, that there had to be something that was alcohol involved, and that um, he got uncontrollable when he was drinking. That was my speculation. So let's see how close I was to that that assumption.
Much y'all want to dig into that, but of course, it left the audience kind of like, what's going on? I think it left people in a way feeling like Marcus did something harmful to you to some degree, Kendra, and for Marcus trying to his best to clean it up. And I think also Kendra got a lot of backlash on it because people kind of felt like, well, is there any truth to what you're saying? So I don't know how much I want to dive into this, but feel free.
Who's first?
When I said that, I was trying to find the appropriate words. And as you continue on, you're going to see that I tried to like correct myself. Did he put me in a circumstance that made me feel uncomfortable? To a certain degree. And that's where the backlash came from. You had all the ability to leave. You could have did this, you could have did that and the third. But when you are invited to one particular event, and that is the whole thought process of the event, and then it turns into something else, it's like, was this planned? Was this the intention of what was happened? And then I wasn't asked if I was going to be okay with it. So it's not about me. Oh, you had all the ability to leave. I was having a fun time. Don't get me wrong. I was having a blast. I was having a fantastic time. It was a party of people. It was his frat brothers. It was a lot of people involved. There was kids involved. The kids left. The people with the kids left. And then, mind you, there's alcohol involved. So with alcohol involved, I'm not driving my car when there's alcohol involved. I'm not driving my vehicle. Okay. I have had experiences in the past where I would get behind the wheel after I was drinking and things happen. And I refuse to do that. I'm an adult. I'm not doing that no more. I'm not going to leave an environment when I've been drinking, period. That's just hands down. You could have got an Uber. That means my car is going to be left at this strange man's house. I don't know this person. I'm only here because of Marcus. I'm not going to leave my personal property at a strange house that I barely know the address to because I literally just followed the GPS directions to get there. I came to a cookout. I came to this type of environment and it turned into something else. So for me, it was like, was this planned? So when I said my trust was compromised, I didn't feel safe, that's what I meant. And I don't know. That was the first time like me and him were actually like meeting up and like saying, hey, like let's try to see each other in person. And that's my first impression. So for me, it's like, this is insane. So it's like, okay, like I don't have anything else to go from. My first impression was this hyper sexual environment. And I'm supposed to believe that this was not planned. Like I don't know him. I don't know him from a grain of salt. I just met you. I'm thinking that it's an innocent cookout. It's something innocent. It had nothing like that to be involved, right? And then it turns into something else. Regardless of, I know the comments. Someone to send me the screenshots of Marcus because I didn't see the comments that Marcus had even said. I didn't even know he even said anything on the post. So I got somebody sent me the screenshots and I'm reading what he said and I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. And I'm not going to disagree with what he said. Because did I do what he said? Yes. But the whole reason, the whole purpose of me saying what I said was the consent of me saying, hey, this is what the night was going to be like. This is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. Are you okay with that? That is what I was like, this is not where I feel comfortable with. Regardless of me being involved, I never had the option of declining in the first place. And that's why me and Marcus kept going back and forth, because he's like, that wasn't the intention of the night. That wasn't the intention. And then his apology to me was, I apologize for how the night made you feel, but I don't apologize for the night. And I'm just like, that's not an apology. And that's where me and him started going back and forth. And that's where the whole miscommunication comes into place, because he says one thing, I'm thinking another. And it's like, now you got people attacking me that weren't even there, that don't even know the situation. They don't even know what happened. They just know the brief information of what he said, the brief information of what she said. And that's fine. But at the end of the day, when you go to a cookout, you expect to meet people, food, and all of that. So for anything extra to happen after that is kind of like, what did I get myself into? Like, this isn't what I decided to agree to show up to.
So I'm gonna stop right there. This is what I'm hearing, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong. There was a party, and it was a frat party. She went to the frat party, had a few drinks, don't want to leave her car, having a good time. Everything is copacetic and smooth and everything. But then as the party started to go on into the after hours, then the after party turned on, kind of like that Diddy party type stuff. So now she's like, okay, now the party is a little hypersexual. I didn't know it was gonna be this way. I just met you. I don't feel comfortable. You set me up. I think you're trying to whatever with me, and I don't like that. So that's what it sounds like. Is she saying the party went on later on into the night, and it went from the cook.
The shift isn't coming, it's already happening.
Out to the sausage party. And if you ever seen the movie, you know how I get down. So it turned into something like that, and it was something that she wasn't expecting. But I'll be quite honest with you, like, he probably didn't know it was gonna turn like that either. Every party, and not just frat parties, every party is different. Every host operates their party differently. If you, first of all, you said that you was having a good time and alcohol was involved. But then you don't know, you think he set you up because you don't know him. So if you don't know him, why would you even drink like that? Why not have a water? Now I don't know how much you drunk or anything, but the fact that you barely know this person, y'all at a party, he's the only person that you know. At this point, you feel safe enough to drink, but but not drive. So you can't. So you drink, but you don't want to drive. You feel uncomfortable, but you don't want to take an Uber because you don't want to leave your car. I guess at that point you shouldn't have drunk. You should have just scoped out the scene and had a good time without drinking. So to me, it's like you're saying it became hypersexual, and you saying like, oh, well, that's my first impression of you. Okay, but if that's the case, then you shouldn't have drunk. In case things started to go sideways, you could just leave. And leaving your car behind ain't that big of a deal. You lock your car, get in the Uber, go home, get in the Uber, come back. Now, I get it. I'm not a big fan of leaving my car either. But if you feel that uncomfortable and you can't drive home and you feel like you're trapped, I would highly suggest taking the Uber and leave. Let's see what else she say.
So that was
So,
my whole point.
so just before Marcus goes, real quick, the question I would have for Kendra is this: what if, okay, y'all went to a party? Because for those that's confused in the audience, they went off camera, of course, to a party, and at this party, it was just a regular cookout. The cookout turned sexual to nature. To some degree, and I don't believe it was everybody in the cookout or everybody that was there, from what I'm understanding. But I don't know. I wasn't there. But from what I heard, so what it sounds like, it got sexual, and yeah, and from what it sounds like was that you yourself was like, well, did Marcus plan this? And if I'm correct, but what if he didn't plan it though? And what if it was just something that happened?
That was the
There are plenty of people that say that they went to the Diddy party and didn't see half the things or any of the things that people say happened at the Diddy party, but they left early. They didn't stay the whole night. So maybe Marcus don't know that. Maybe, again, every party is different. If you go to one party over here, I'm pretty sure it's going to be different than a party over here. What this host allows to happen, this host may not allow to happen. You ever been to parties where, hey, you can bring your kids. Hey, you can't bring your kids because we gonna be doing some things, and you shouldn't have your kids over here. And if you gotta bring your kids and can't find a babysitter, don't bring your ass to the damn cookout. It's that simple. Sometimes it's advertised, other times it's not, because you understand the implications it could bring if everybody knows. But if people know the host and know how the host throws a party, then you pretty much get the consensus of what's about to happen.
first time that I met him, so I have nothing else to grasp from.
So if it's your first time meeting, but you decided to drink, that's what I don't understand. If I'm going to a party with a young lady, I can tell you right now, I'm probably not going to drink. Because I need to feel, I got to scope the vibe out, especially if it's her people's, her friends, I got to scope the vibe out. I just don't think that was a smart move. If you keep saying this is my first time meeting him, and then you're going to drink, you should have just not drank at all. So if it went south, you could leave.
I have nothing else to go off of. So think about it from my perspective as a woman, that this is a frat party. Like, this is like his frat brothers are here. And this, like I said, this is just my perspective. I'm not blaming anything, but this is just my perspective. Going to college, being around different college people, like those are the parties that they would do. And like, I'm not saying anything, but from my perspective, that was my mentality. So I had nothing else to go off of, especially with that being our first initial interaction with each.
See, now I just feel like this is just a lack of accountability at this point, because now you're just pointing the blame, because you just said when you were in college, they had those type of parties and you didn't go to them. So you were aware that they had parties like that. And you were going to a frat party, which on a 50-50 chance, it was probably going to end up like that.
Other after just having phone calls and text messages back and forth. That's the first time I met you in person, and that's the first impression that I have. What else do I have to go off of?
Okay, Marcus, what do you have to say about everything?
So, first of all, I want to make it very clear. I invited you to the cookout. Now, again, yes, once the cookout ended, several people stayed. Some of us stayed to clean up. Right? Once we got finished cleaning up and we sat down somewhere and we started talking and that transition happened, not only did I ask you, were you okay? But somebody asked you something and you agreed to it.
So to piggyback off of that, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I had an experience that I have never experienced in my entire life.
But hold on,
Ever.
I'll let you talk. I'll let you talk. I'll let you talk.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I'm curious. What did the person ask you that you agreed to? Cause that okay, I'm gonna let Marcus talk.
For you to sit here and say that I did not try to make sure you were safe or that you were not asked is ludicrous. Not only do I have proof that I asked, but you admitted to me not putting you in a situation and such, which I could play right now. Because what I don't appreciate is when I stood up for you and you on your platform called me a pedophile and all these negative things, and then try to say now.
Hold on. Wait. What the hell kind of party was this? Wait. What kind of party is this for her to call him the P word? Okay, we ain't gonna say it on the channel. But what kind of party does it take for this woman to call him a P word? And she put it on her social media. That's all bad. We should have aired this out. We should have aired this out at the last reunion video. we should air this out then. I am blown away, and I still feel like they're just kind of beating around the bush, and it's still kind of vague, like ticky tacky. Tell me the story from beginning to end. I want to know the story from beginning to end. That's what I want to know.
Now I'm all this. It's ridiculous. And you say that you are for a man's mental health.
Don't pull that in.
No, because you brought my frat into it. You brought my frat into it. So I'm bringing, no. Right. We don't get to play those games.
That's fine.
Because you have to take accountability for what you decided to do. And again, okay, you live 15 minutes from that property that we were on. 15 minutes. Oh, yeah, we Googled it. We talked about it. So what I want to make it very clear, is that Marcus he did his best to make sure that, one, he made sure you were okay, and he asked questions, which you said I didn't, but I did. Which you said there were a lot of few things that you did not mention.
I'm starting to think that maybe she was drunker than I believe. Because if he's saying that he asked her question and she's saying that, well, you ain't asked me questions and I didn't feel comfortable, maybe she was drunk. And then now it got me curious. Did you get involved in the activities? And you are feeling ashamed because you got involved in the activities. Now, Marcus, you get it too, because that was definitely not the place for a first date. I just gotta say it. That was the frat house was not probably the best idea of a first date. I'm just gonna say that, cause look what happened. Now I don't know if you did this with other first dates, but I don't think this was a good idea for a first date. Cause look what happened, and the way it happened ain't a good happen. All right, so you get a mark because it was a bad first date. She get a mark because clearly she feel uncomfortable about what she did. She get 2 marks. One, because she lived 15 minutes away, and she definitely could have Ubered. Like, baby, it's 15 minutes. You could turn 15 into 10 if you drive fast enough. And then do you get it, Marcus? I really feel like you're just not taking accountability for what you did. You did something, and you ashamed that you did it on the first date, and you got drunk there. I ain't gonna say she got drunk there. She probably got tipsy. But whatever happened, I feel like she agreed to it. And now she can't look at herself the same, so she can't talk to Marcus. Y'all both to blame. Because y'all both had bad moves in this situation.
Or you had incorrectly said, which we cleared that up during conversation. But again, I'm not here to bash. I'm not here for us to go back and forth. But what I'm not going to sit here and allow is for this picture of me to be painted as if I was a pedophile. And you talk about you were wild at me posting what happened on Instagram when you on your stories called me a pedophile, saying all these negative things about me when I stood up for you. That is what hurts me the most. No, Kendra, I don't want to hear it right now. Because at the end of the day, you hurt me more than I hurt you. Because I stood up for you. When you was down or needed me, I was there. And you could call me for anything. That hurt me. To think that my caring heart would try to get turned against me like that. And just so everybody can hear it, you know what? I'm gonna leave it alone. Because it's like this. I got everything that's gonna protect me in every way. Because I, again, stood up. I stood up for what was right. Even though, yes, that night was not planned by me. That night, that was not something that I would have brought you in willingly. But for you to continue a show with me, for me for us to still hang out after shoots, to still talk and all this stuff, if I put that kind of you in that kind of environment, it's just I just can't understand it.
You know, the way this is sounding, the fact that he said that he has everything that he needs to protect himself lets me know something happened at that party to Kendra that either one, she's ashamed of, two, she's offended by, or three, she found herself in a very dangerous situation or a very compromising situation. It's one of the three. It's one of them. We got some missing. We still have missing pieces to this conversation. So I'm hoping that more information comes out. But from what, so my first assumption was right. There was alcohol involved, but now it seems like there was some hypersexual activity going on in this situation that made Kendra feel uncomfortable. Whether she agreed to an act or did an act, or how the case is, something occurred. It couldn't be what the people did off in a distance. So if you're saying that you feel uncomfortable because of what the people did in the distance, it's a completely different story. I feel uncomfortable because of what they did. Okay, well, y'all can leave. Y'all can go. I mean, again, he didn't plan. You act like he was part of the planning party of this. Every party is different. Every party is different. No party is the same.
You want to know what I can't understand is why on earth, the only reason why I opened my big mouth and started talking crap like I did was because I'm over here trying to reconnect and try to understand why my producer has pulled away from me. And apparently somebody has been telling Mingo that I've been talking crap about him. I reached out to everybody, at least all the girls, at least. And I was asking questions like, who's talking shit? Who's talking bull crap? Who's talking this? Who's talking this? And saying these things about my producer, when my producer has my career of what I'm trying to do for my life in my hand. So I put two and two together. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, is he really sitting there talking bad and saying and spreading lies to my producer about what had happened or about what I have said or about what I have said? And that's what set me off, because if you look at my social media, Marcus,
No, you
everything that
blocked
had
me. You
happened,
blocked me. You blocked me, remember?
if whatever, if anybody looks at my social media over the past year, because this happened over a year ago, I didn't say anything on Threads, on Instagram. I didn't post anything about it. All I did was go on a date with the girl that was involved. We talked about it. She apologized to me. She sent me messages and apologized to me, trying to clarify some things and saying that she says the consent is a big major thing in her life. And she apologizes. She doesn't know what anybody else's intentions were for that night, but she apologizes.
It sound like I'm on the right track. Consent is a big part of it. So what happened that required consent from Kendra where she felt violated? And you said that it happened with the girl. See, I'm putting it together now. I think I'm getting close
because of what she had going on. So I got that apology from her in that aspect, and that's understandable. But the thing that I've talked to you about multiple times, Marcus, was I apologize for the night, but I apologize for how the night made you feel, but I don't apologize for the night. So that is the apology that I had received from you, and we talked about it multiple times. And you said the same thing. What you're about to say now, that's not what I said as an apology. I never apologized like that. Why do I have that in my mind? Because I know we were on the phone when you said that to me.
You had it in your mind. You were sitting across from me too, but you were sitting on my lap.
I don't remember that. So, and I'll say this.
Again,
I'll say
listen,
I'll say this real quick. I'll say this. No, I'll say this real quick. I'll say this real quick. There was a lot of alcohol involved.
See that? See that? She was drunk. She was drunk, and she's not recalling the night. Everybody know when you're drunk, you don't recall the night as much as you would like. But again, if this is your first time meeting this person, why would you get drunk? Because obviously you had to be comfortable enough to get drunk. So you got drunk, it got hypersexual. You had an incident with a young lady, and Marcus wasn't, and Marcus had to be involved. You believe it was set up. Your safety was compromised. Why don't you take accountability for your own actions? You got drunk. You made a decision under the influence, and now you're embarrassed about it. And you don't want to deal with Marcus because Marcus was involved in the situation that occurred. So now you're upset about the whole situation. Understandable. I believe there's been a number of people that have made horrible decisions under the influence on regardless of what it was. They made decisions under the influence, kind of like what you did. Take accountability for your own actions. And again, like I said, Marcus don't get a pass either because that one a smooth move for a first date. Honestly, I think it was kind of cheap. Okay, because you went to a free frat party, free food, and all the like. So you don't get a pass either. That was a terrible first date idea. Terrible. Why would you bring somebody that you just met around what you could consider your frat brothers, your closest people? Why would you bring a person? Yeah, it's a cookout, but bro, that is definitely not the scene that you bring around. You come on now, like I ain't trying to like talk bad about like frats and nothing like that because I actually like frats. I think they great, but come on, man, that's not a great first date. So no, you don't get a pass either. Like both y'all are lacking accountability. Just say, I apologize. I shouldn't have took you there. I shouldn't have took you there as a first date. I shouldn't have took you there as our first meet and greet. We should have went somewhere else. somewhere to get something to eat, somewhere to get something to drink. We could have just said chill, ate, and you could have went on about your merry way. But Kendra, also, you got to take accountability for what you did. You had too much to drink. Both of y'all did. And y'all find yourselves in a compromising situation, in a hyper-sexualized environment where anything could happen. And everybody there is under the assumption that everybody that is there that's left behind is down for whatever. Y'all should have left. Yeah, it's cool to help clean up and everything, but you should have left. And you 15 minutes away, you definitely could have took an Uber home and took one back and got your car. Come on now, like it's just a lack of accountability. But you go on a date with the girl where the incident happened at and say that consent was there, so that means that y'all got down and dirty. That is what I am perceiving from this conversation. Y'all got down and dirty. Whether you got down with the girl or y'all had a threesome, it went down. And now you embarrassed and don't want to take accountability. That's what I'm hearing. I could be wrong. But that's what I'm hearing.
There was a lot. And I'm not blaming the alcohol. Blame it on the alcohol. I'm not blaming it on the alcohol. I'm blaming that on the ability for me to leave. Because I've had experiences with myself, which is why I have the car that I have now. I'm not about to sit here and get in the car behind a wheel. I don't care if it's 15 minutes, 5 minutes, where I don't care. I'm not driving. I'm not leaving my car anywhere where I don't feel comfortable leaving my.
So basically, you got popped for DWI, driving under the influence, or you got drunk one night and crashed your car. That's what you're saying. That's what you're alluding to. But that still doesn't negate the fact that you couldn't take an Uber home. You're blaming the alcohol, the fact that you're trapped. No, you had an opportunity to leave, which is catch an Uber, catch a Lyft, or whatever you need to get your ass home and out of this situation that you don't want to be in.
My vehicle. I don't know these people. I'm not leaving my car. I'm not doing that. We talked about that, and I said that, which is why I stayed.
And I told you,
and I was very clear with that.
Listen,
it sounds to me like this, right? If you're in a compromise, if your safety is compromised, nothing else should matter, right? Like, this is how I look at it, and I'm gonna just speak on what I'm hearing now. If for any reason my safety is compromised, I don't care if my car is there. I don't care if my friends are there. I'm out. And they don't want to leave. I'm out. Like, we got to go. But the other thing too is in this situation, from what I'm gathering, what it sounds like, there was alcohol involved. You guys were in high. Were you inebriated, Marcus? Were you drunk?
I was not drunk. I was tipsy. And at the time when Kendra told me, she was tipsy too.
I had 3 double shots. So I was definitely tipsy. I was definitely feeling it.
You was tipsy or drunk, like to the point of like.
I wasn't drunk. I was tipsy to the point where I knew that if y'all see how thick my glasses are. When I get in the car with contacts, when it's dark outside, people that have contacts and glasses, they understand what I'm talking about. The lights blow up times 10. They blow up. I have -11 vision. I am not supposed to, technically I'm not supposed to be driving when it gets dark, especially if I have glasses on, especially if I have contacts, and that's by my license, that's by the DMV.
So basically you was being irresponsible. Kendra, just log off. You're really just making it worse for yourself by lacking accountability. You got -11 vision and you should not be driving at night, but you stayed and you was drinking. On the first time you was meeting somebody, you had 3 double shots. That sounds drunk to me. Like I don't even know what you was drinking. But if it was tequila and you were lightweight, you probably was drunk. Like, yeah. And the way you drinking that wine, yeah, yeah.
So I'm not supposed to be doing those things, which is why I don't like to go out and drink and drive. If I go out, I don't need to go out.
I've witnessed you do it, so.
You witnessed me,
that's why
and I was 5 minutes.
That's why I was saying that.
But you just said that you don't do it even if you 5, 10, 15 minutes from the house. Oh my God. Log her off, please. Log her off. You are lying. You are lying, man. This makes no sense.
I was in a familiar area. I didn't have the GPS to go home. So yes, I've done it multiple times. I've done it before by the bar that's right down the street from my house. That's 2 minutes down the street. Yeah, sure. I did drive. Absolutely. I've also walked from that bar too, home. I've also walked from that bar.
Kendra, we've been in Charlotte too. But listen, again, I don't want to. This is what I'm saying because I'm honestly over it. I've learned so much from you, and I appreciate the beginning and the now. I've
Hey, look, shit got so bad. Tamara logged off. Like, you know what, baby, I can't even say.
grown to be able to say this. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at anything that was done. But what I won't tolerate is the negative things. And no, I've never talked bad about you. Mingo knows, even though we've had conversations, I've never gossiped to him about anything which you have done or said.
So
like
even in that instance, the thing that came back to me, Kendra, was more what you were saying, like, I made the show. You did me a favor by being on the show. Things along those lines. That's what came back to me. And to me, when I hear those things and I'm like, I had this show beforehand, I was going to have this show regardless.
Without me.
Those are the things that, and they came back to me through multiple people. And for me, I'm like, nah. And then it borderline where hearing you say things like regarding things that we spoke about with the NDA and potentially trying to do, or possibly being able to do things that can jeopardize the show, if that makes sense. And for me, I have to fall back. Legally, I have to fall back. I spoke to my attorney on it. He's like, yo, fall back. He was like, you can, when it pertains to the show, leave it there. That's it. No friendship, no talking, no nothing. So that's where I really fell back on when it came down to the jeopardy of the actual show, if that makes sense.
It makes sense. But
as far as you and Marcus goes,
you know what? Let me say this, okay? And from a business standpoint, when it comes to dealing with people in contracts, GMT, I understand. Look. I understand what you had to do. That right there could be a potential walk-in lawsuit, is what they call it. A walk-in lawsuit is what they call it. The person that will bring down your whole organization because of how they feel. They don't care about anything else, whether it's substantial or not. One public lawsuit can destroy a reputation, especially for a small business. I'm glad you put it out there and said that, because now, not only have we realized that Kendra is a liar, not only have we realized she has misconstrued the events of that night and have made poor judgments of that night, and not only made poor judgments of that night, made poor judgments on other nights outside of this, and has put her own life and other people's lives in jeopardy with negative 11 vision that to drive and not even be drunk, and has driven under the influence multiple times because she only lives 5 minutes away, even though she said she don't do it, even if she lives 5 minutes away. So, babe, at what point in time you about to log out? Cause you're really embarrassing yourself at this point. So, Jimmy, I appreciate the things that you have said and pretty much pointing out and asking the questions for me to figure out this puzzle. Man, I'll tell you the truth. I don't have the whole story, But from the stuff that she is saying, it is alluding me to that something occurred. She said her safety was compromised. I don't believe her safety was compromised. I believe that she made a horrible decision, and now she's trying to protect herself by all means, by any means necessary at this point. That's my take. I think she's trying to protect herself by any means necessary, and it's backfiring. That's my thought.
You know, like I said, this thing, I think it got dragged on, if that makes sense. Like it got oh, sorry, Tamara. I think this thing got dragged on. It was a year ago.
I can't hear you.
We started filming June of last year. So all of this stuff happened so long ago, and it's sad that it's still kind of being brought up today as a thing. I would say I would like for it to be clear that Marcus, you know, because I just for me to hear Kendra, you can hear me?
I can now.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying that, like, you know, as far as the whole thing going was between you and Marcus, is, you know, this thing happened a year ago. And when we look at it, his name was dragged. He was called a pedo and things like that. Regardless of whatever happened, that is very hard to put on a man. And it's you have a very large following on social media, and that following can basically make his name, you know, it can ruin his life. And that's where I believe, and when he got wind of that, you said that those are the things that hurt him more than anything. I don't want to speak for you, Marcus, but I'm just speaking from what I observed.
At this point, I would like for Kendra.
So I don't know if Kendra, if you feel like.
At this point, I would like for Kendra and Marcus to apologize to each other, so we can go ahead and move on. Because he's right. I mean, if the show started filming this happening a year ago and it's still being dragged out, I can only suspect that you know, Kendra suffered this embarrassment, or humiliation, or however she feel about it, and she just can't move on from it. And if you can't move on from it, then that's a personal issue of yours. Don't drag another man's name through the mud because of how you're feeling about the situation, because you can't look yourself in the mirror. This is what it sounds like. Again, I could be wrong, but this is what it sounds like to me.
You still stand 10 toes down on what you said about Marcus and how you feel about him, or if there's some form of reconciliation where we can move on and these things are like kind of put to bed.
Like I said, go ahead.
No, say what you gotta say.
No, like I said, I have gotten over the situation. You know, I left it alone. When things got brought up and things were stated, I defended myself. And then when I heard that things were being said about me, instead of me suing or anything, it's like, listen, I don't mind saying what has to be said. But, you know, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Kendra. I'm not being disrespectful to anybody that was involved at the cookout, because again, that's their privacy. What happened there should have stayed there. What happened, if it wasn't going to be told at all, it should have never been brought up. That's all I'm saying. Because again, if that was how you felt during the shooting, we should have stopped shooting. We should have stopped communicating and be done with it. We could have moved on with life.
And you know the timeline of this, so I'm going to stop there.
Timeline doesn't matter. It doesn't.
Marcus, if you would like to have a conversation after this, that's very calm.
After this, I'm
and
good.
everything.
I'm good with us.
Exactly. So like the reconciling, like Mingo just said, It's not going to happen. He doesn't want to talk.
You blocked me
I blocked
first.
you off. I blocked you off social media. I didn't block your
You
phone
blocked
number.
my number too because
I
I
didn't
texted.
block your number. I didn't block your number.
Well, it went green for me, so
I didn't block your number. I blocked.
So you could tell at this point that Kendra's defeated. And her drinking and playing with the cat, she's completely cut off. She's closed off. She's no longer listening or trying to hear anything that anybody got to say. So, in a nutshell, she is shut down because she doesn't feel heard and she knows that she doesn't have a leg to stand on at this point. So that we see the BS. We see the BS.
You off Instagram. I didn't block your phone number.
Okay. I think a lot of this could be put to bed now. And when I say now, meaning that, if basically what I'm just saying is clearing the air that Marcus is not those things that you said. If you don't really feel that way, or if you was just saying it because you was upset and mad at him.
Oh, absolutely. I was pissed off. Absolutely. Because I'm trying to figure out where the negativity is coming from. So when people are reaching out to me and saying, hey, let's hang out outside of this, I said no, because I don't know who is talking crap and saying these things to my producer when my producer has my career of what I'm trying to do in his hands. So that is the craziest part that I have. And I already have trust issues. My mom has already mentioned to me I need to go to a trauma therapist. I need to go to trauma because of everything that I've been through in my life. It has nothing to do with this experience. I'm talking about my overall life. This doesn't help what I've already been through. This doesn't help. But
I think
why would I say certain things in regards to it when I know that he literally has what I'm trying to do in the palm of his hands, and the plans that he has told me is literally in the palms of my hands in the back of my mind. So at the end of the day, I don't mind being held accountable. I don't mind any of that. Do I feel bad about saying what I said about Marcus? Yes, I do. Because when I made that post, I was with one of my homeboys and he was like, don't post that. Don't post that. And I posted it anyway. Because I was pure rage and I was pissed. Because I'm just like, okay, I'm reaching out to these people and they're saying that, oh, I never said anything bad. I never said this. I never said that. It's like, okay, so now my trust is compromised everywhere. Everywhere. So when Tamara's sitting there saying, oh, we know each other on the show, we only know each other because we were filming. We don't know each other personally. We don't know each other in that aspect. We really don't.
Mingo, can you hear me? First of all, hold on.
I can hear you.
Okay, Kendra, first of all, as we spoke on social media, I said to you, you know who you're talking to, okay? I've never done anything to you. And when all the women got together, we invited you out of the kindness of our heart. We don't have nothing to do with none of this. You sent me a message on social media asking me, was I talking about you? I'm a grown woman. I have no reason to talk about you. There's nothing about you that I need to talk about. All the women reached out to you in kindness and in love. You came back with some jabs. Everybody let it go. So
you were the only one that reached out to me to hang out. No one else reached out to me to hang out.
They're not going to because you're acting like you acted. So why would they? And I was the one organizing the whole event. It was a whole spa day, all of that good stuff. I was the one I was treating everybody. It was supposed to be a good time, but we're not bringing everybody together for no drama, no chaos. We're all getting together to have a good time. So no, they're not gonna reach out to you if they ask me, hey Tamara, you just speak to Kendra, and I'm like, yeah, but when I did, she was like, oh, you've been talking about me. Girl, no, it wasn't. And I told you I didn't have nothing to say about you. Now you know how it was said and what it was said, and there you have it. But everybody, we wanted to reach out to you in love and solidarity. That's all it was. Just good energy. Whatever you on, and that's on you. But it have nothing to do with me and none of the other women either. We've all gotten together since then, had great times. It has nothing to do with none of that. That's a you thing. You carry that.
Okay.
So, how do you feel about? You want to respond to Tamara and what she said?
I don't really have anything to say, other than the fact that when she reached out to me saying that we were all going to hang out and do this, that, and the third, it was like a secondhand invitation more so. So like that's why I was like, okay, like I don't want to be invited if you guys don't really want me to be there. That's okay. And that's fine. Because like I mentioned before, we know each other, but we know each other surface level. I think Tamara, myself, and Aaliyah hung out once after filming. We never hung out more times after that. We never hung out outside of filming. So I don't want anybody to sit there and think that, oh, we know each other like that. We really don't know each other like that. We follow each other on social media. We hung out once after filming and we said our goodbyes. We said, hey, and this, that, and the third, and that's okay. The reality is we really don't know each other like that. We
Hence the reason
don't.
why. Hence the reason why we're all going to Valentine Resort to have a great time. And how is it a secondhand invitation when someone's telling you, I'm inviting you, I'm footing the bill, it's going to be a whole key, it's going to be a whole time, and I get bought back with, I get negativity back. Sweetie, at the end of the day, you don't want to go, you don't want to go. I'm not spending my money on somebody who don't really want to be there. You tell me, well, if you really don't want me there, girl, this was not cheap. We were going to have a great time. It was supposed to be a bonding experience. I don't know what you want, but whatever you want, you on it. And we're going to go and have a good time anyway. There was nothing secondhand about it. I reached out to you in solidarity and love. That's it. Now, whatever problem you got, again, that's a you thing. Handle that. But love is love. That's all it was.
My response to you was, I have been mistreated by people in the past multiple times. I do have trust issues. And I said what I said, and I meant what I said.
So at this junction, we realize that Kendra has problems. And she needs, as she said, a trauma therapist. Okay. And you know what? I like how Tamara's cutting into her. I ain't kind of like how she had to cut into Professor. But I like how, I think I like Tamara when she cut into other women. I don't like when she cut into dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like when she cut into dudes, it be some lingerings from her marriage. But when she cut into these girls, oh man, boy, she giving her the business. Ain't no way in the world Tamara talking about some, yeah, it was a secondhand request. It's coming from the organizer. How is that secondhand and it's coming from the organizer? Hey, Tamara, keep going at her, okay? You ain't got to be friends with her, but if you keep cutting into her, hey, we be best friends.
And I don't hang out with people that I don't want to. If I don't want to hang out, I'm not going to hang out. Regardless if there's an invitation there, I'm not going to show up. That's just how I feel. I don't care that you're paying for things. And I understand your heart. You're trying to be nice, trying to be kind. I'm not saying that I don't appreciate you paying for things, but I don't care that you're paying for things, because if I don't want to be there, I don't want to be there.
And that's fine. That's why I said, okay. I said, I appreciate it, Kendra. You have a great day. And you see, I didn't bother you again. It wasn't about the payment, sweetie. It ain't about the money. It was about the love behind it. And somebody said, oh, why do you guys act like you were fake happy when you really don't like each other? What you're hearing right now is individual situations that are going on individual people. There's been love there the whole time for people who wanted to receive the love. That everybody's not going to love everybody. And that's okay too. There's nothing fake about it. There are many people on the show. I mean, honestly, Aaliyah and these people are receiving the love we've all given them. We all support them. Not to mention, there are times where I've reached out to Marcus. Marcus reached out to me. To be honest, today or tomorrow, me and Professor don't have to agree, but I can sit next to a brother at a basketball game. He can sit there and he can talk about who he talking about. I can talk about who we talking about. I don't hate the man. As a couple, did we match? No. But as a human, I ain't got no problem with the brother. Like, just be so for real. Be respectful. I'm be respectful of you. I'm respectful of him. We could be cool. I don't hate nobody in this world, and I'm sure he don't either. I'm not gonna put words in a man's mouth. Hey, there's no hate here. Hate is a very strong word, and nobody is disliking anybody. You're here. What you're hearing now are different people who have different challenges with themselves or whatever with the show, and it's just now coming out. It's the last time we're all gonna probably speak to each other, and it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. Y'all don't take it too far. And I was saying, before I even got off, I was booted off, and some people probably were glad I was booted off. They're probably tired of hearing my mouth, and that's okay too. I was saying that what people put in the comments means something. Just like we had somebody else who had a situation where somebody was sending them threats It's happened to a lot of us on this cast. A lot of us, myself included. The fact remains is that when it gets beyond the comments and it gets to people sending you messages about your children, harassing you, posting my address, had somebody follow me, it's a bit too much. So understand that being on TV is all great while the cameras are on. The show has been amazing. And
man, that is crazy. And that is so unfortunate to me that it happened to you. Somebody posted your address and everything. There are some very cruel people in this world, and it shouldn't happen to nobody on the cast at all. Whether you're doing something good or you're doing something bad, that should never happen. And as a reactor to various shows and everything like that, I find that offensive. Come on, people, like we got to do better, okay? They're on here trying to find love and everything like that. You may not agree with what they say, but you ain't got to go after them. Come on, come on. Now.
Pivotal in so many different ways. We all have lives outside of this, which is why I said what I said about Marcus. I said, let's get it right. Let's not put it out here that he's a pedo and this, that, and the third. That man has a whole life outside of here. If something happened in a situation that was outside of the show with two other people, then they can deal with that. But it had nothing to do with the show, and there's no reason for him to be called that, because that could affect his home life. That could affect the things he got going on. Somebody following me, posting my home address, and threatening my children can affect me too. And whether or not people in the audience like my voice, want to hear what I have to say, the fact is I came on the show with love in my heart. I'm a professional speaker by trade. It's what I do. I love to communicate. It's what I'm paid to do. So I do apologize for those who did not want to hear my voice. You don't have to come to see me speak. I'm okay with that. But I hope you remember me for truth. I hope you remember me for taking up for Marcus and for standing with everybody on that show when I needed to. Because one thing I'm not scared of is to speak my truth. You can like it, you can love it, you can be indifferent about it, but Tamara's gonna be okay.
The difference between you being able to say your truth, I can't fully say my truth. I can't fully say my truth because of NDAs and timelines and things like that. I can't fully say my truth. So that's the difference between you and I.
But you kind of said it already. People are in the people.
No, I haven't.
Windows.
No,
I mean,
I haven't.
How did Usher say, if you're going to tell it all? At the end of the day, you guys had this is a situation outside of the show that should not have been brought to the show unless it has something to do with the show. Like you really convoluted the whole situation and confused everybody. Then you call the man a pedo. Now you say he's not a pedo. Like it's like stand on.
I never took it back.
That's all people are asking. Stand on to get off of it. Because at the end of the day, people begin to have their own thought processes and ideologies about what you mean when you don't tell it. That's messed up. As a Black man, it's hard enough in this world. You say
it is hard enough. You're completely right. It is hard enough. Now, will I take it back now? Absolutely, I'll take it back now. I will take it back. I was upset.
Who should be loving on each other and lifting each other up? Yeah, we all had our individual. But the fact is, you do not, as a woman, you do not get a chance to say false allegations against somebody like that. That is wrong. And I couldn't stand for you to do it. That's why I told you, I said, I got mad love for you, but that's the wrong stuff you doing. Don't do that. Mad or not, I ain't never said nothing about nobody like that. That man, they can get back to that man's job. They can let that man go. Anything can happen. Lord, I'm not praying for that. We're gonna not put that in the atmosphere. But you don't know how that type of stuff could manifest and grow. Black men have been killed, hurt for less. And here you are running your mouth and saying something like that. And I don't respect it. I didn't respect it today, tomorrow, and I won't next week. And the fact that you say it now and say I was mad, that's when Emmett Till got killed. Emmett Till got killed for a lie. Understand how our Black men are perceived already. If people say whatever they want to say about me, but what you will not say is I don't love my people and I don't stand up for them. You was wrong.
And I agree, which is why I said what I said.
For you. And that's why I stood up and I said it. People can say what they want to say about my mouth. But what you won't say is I sat by and let wrong go on and let it rise. I didn't.
Tamara, I'm gonna be honest with you, girl. You going off, but you are definitely muffled. But on the other hand, Kendra is not paying attention. Like, I don't know when she started drinking, but it like she's drinking wine. And it already looks like she's a little inebriated. Cause she she got real lax in her conversation. She ain't that slurred words yet, but she got real lax in her conversation, and she playing with the cat. Can we just log her off? Like, we ain't even got to keep going. Like to know that not only did she cut up or whatever happened between her and Marcus, but she's also feuding with the girls too. So we know it ain't Marcus. We know it ain't the girl. It's Kendra. It is Kendra lacking accountability and is blaming her past to say that, oh, well, because I've been misused by so many people, it's hard for me to trust. Then why go on the show? If you know you got trust issues, if you know you got deep trauma wounds, why put yourself in a situation that involves you to have to trust, bond, and build with people? Because in some situations, people that be like, that's just like when you start work with somebody. If you start work and orientation at the same time as somebody else, whether the same sex, opposite sex, whatever, y'all have something in common. Y'all started the same day. Y'all gonna have conversations because that's the only person that you really know out of the office. You're not gonna go and have lunch with the veterans. You don't know them. They don't know you. There's no trust there. But you trust the person, or you kind of sort of trust the person that you started with, and that's the person that you kind of become good friends with until you meet somebody else like-minded, or somebody get fired or go away. So understandable. That's the same thing happened on the show. Y'all was on the show together. Y'all wanted to bond and continue on after the show and build that camaraderie and friendship because y'all had something in common, which is the show. And now you're like, I don't want to do that. I don't care about the money you spent. It's not what I wanted to do. Okay, boo boo, that's fine. Do what you do. But y'all was the last three. But it sounds like Tamara is like, she banded together all the girls, or all the girls that was willing to come around and still go off and do girl stuff and build and have karate, have a friendship. If you want to be part of that, okay, cool. You said you want to be part of it. But now we realize that it's more so Kendra than anything.
And I won't.
Okay. And that's fine. And I'm not going to sit there and disagree with you. I'm not going to disagree with you. Was I completely wrong by saying those things that I did? Absolutely. I will sit there and I'll take it back now. I didn't take it back prior to this conversation. I did not take it back prior to this conversation. I'll take it back now. Was I upset? Absolutely. Because I felt as though that Marcus was trying to bus roll me, throw me under the bus and say these things. And that's okay. It's okay, Marcus. I'm not trying to sit there and
have
say
a career, baby.
that.
I'm gonna say this like this. I got a career. I mentor. I have a life where I do so much for my community. Your words could have damaged me. And I couldn't do what I do in the community no more. Because now people look at me as a pedophile if this would have got out. If people wasn't defending me like Tamara and Aaliyah and them, and the people that know me, and you just sit there all like, I'm sorry. Come on. You think I'm going to take that?
And that's why I was
You shouldn't have to, and you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to, Marcus. And I'll apologize. Like regardless of Tamara, I hear you, but I'm talking to Marcus. Marcus, I will genuinely apologize to you for that. And I'll say,
you could be cute on this camera, but don't forget who I am too. Don't forget
I'm not worried about who you are, girl.
Smart all day long.
I'm really not worried about who you are.
You did enough, but you really did say enough. Hone in on that. All the extra stuff you said is not even true. You called this man a pedo. You did lives and called this man a pedo, said his name. Acknowledge that. Go back on live and say, you know what, y'all? I made an error in judgment. You ain't got to say I lied, which is what you did. You said I made an error in judgment, and being a better person today than I was yesterday. I want to recant something I said. My experience, I felt away. I admit that a woman should feel safe. I agree with you on that. But if you want to tell it all. If you want to apologize, really do it. That's nasty work, man. That's nasty work. That's nasty work.
Tamara, I appreciate you. Kendra, again, I wish you the best. Mingo, I got to drop. I got work. I got to finish. But I appreciate everybody. Listen, at the end of the day, this is something I went through, and it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot. It made me stronger as a man. It made me understand that I got the power to forgive, but I understand what I will not accept in life. And if somebody can do that to me, truly do that to me, that just shows me that that's not somebody that needs to be in my life. And I want to wish that person the best. And I'll talk to y'all later. It's much love.
Hey,
I appreciate it.
Much love, Marcus.
Marcus.
All right.
Mingo, I'm going to go ahead and, to be honest, I'm going to drop too, because in all honesty, I didn't had enough. Y'all, I know there's a lot of people who didn't like me on the show, didn't like the fact that I talked, didn't like how I move. But this is the whole thing. In all honesty, I speak for a living. If you would like to follow me, my brand is called Positivity Has a Purpose. I'm on my way to stadiums. I'm actually filming a movie on Saturday, 3 documentaries next week. Feel free to follow my journey to arenas. I'm going. Whether whoever wants me there, whoever don't, I implore you to inbox me. I'll make sure you get a free ticket. I would love to see you there. Whether you love me on the show, whether you didn't, I would love to see you in the audience. I would love to put some love on you too. Y'all, it's been a journey. Mingo, we'll talk soon. But I gotta go.
Definitely.
All right? Much love to you.
Talk to you soon. Much love. Thank you.
You know, Tamir, I was on your team until you started talking about yourself. I don't mind you being on the show, but sometimes, and I don't mind you talking. It's just sometimes like there's a time and place for everything. It's just that when you talk, it just always be about me. That's what it sounds like. Just like now, this ain't even about you. This is about them too. And you made it, and you somehow made it about you. Here's my brand. I'm going to stadiums. Come see me talk, or hit me up, and I'll make sure you get a ticket. Like, we get it. We get it. You make money speaking. We get it. There's nothing wrong with the get the gab. The problem is when you make it all about you and it ain't about you. That's the only thing that I've been saying. So if you heard what I'm been saying, if you do another show, kind of keep it on topic. It don't make it about you. We get it. God dang, like, man, I was hoping we were gonna go this whole thing without having to hear her talk about her. I was hoping. Let's see what they got to say.
All right. So, Professor, that was a lot. What do you have to say? You was quiet the whole time.
Hey, listen, man. I feel like I listen to the female Dr. Umar, but no, I mean, it is what you know.
So look. I'm gonna leave it right there because I came for what I wanted, and was to find out what happened between Kendra and Marcus, and they went through a doozy. I definitely would say, but like I said, Marcus not getting a pass because that was a horrible first date. Okay, and Kendra is definitely not getting a pass because there's just an extreme lack of accountability there. You made a mistake. You did something wrong. You was not comfortable. Okay, you're embarrassed. You're furious that it happened, but I think you're more furious at yourself because of what you did, and that whole act right there explains it all. Tamara, we can appreciate that you try to reach out and you protected Marcus and you looked out for this young lady. And at the end of the day, she still made her own decision. Her actions on this live stream has become evident that something is not right there. And it's her being an advocate for men's mental health, but doing something that's damaging speaks a lot to character. And it seems like what she was doing on the show was just a character. You saying you can't speak your truth because of NDAs? I believe this live stream happened so you could speak your truth. And the fact that you tried to jeopardize the show because of how you felt and what you thought what was going on, that just speaks volumes, because I believe that you could have had a conversation, even though you said that people were saying. So we had a technical error, but back to what I was saying. But the fact that you're on this show and you almost jeopardized the show because of how you felt and everything, and what occurred. I really think that's just a really terrible, dirty move. And it just speaks volumes about your character. It just speaks volumes about your character. It's like what we seen on the show. You basically just played a character. You could have ended the show. You could have walked away at any point in time, but you chose not to, and you chose to stay on. You try to make it an excuse like, oh, well, we was in public, so that was a cause for keep going. But come on now, like you were trying to find. It's almost like you were trying to find reason to jeopardize the show by staying on and continuing on, but then try to damage a man's name. But you're an advocate for mental health. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. I think you really need to check the backyard and really figure out what's going on back there. But on the other hand, man, don't forget to like, subscribe, share the content, man. Definitely check out our brand store. And guess what? We will catch you on the next go around.
The shift isn't coming. It's
Peace.
already happening.